what's good? Welcome to Inspiraction, where personal growth and change are the name of the game. I'm your host, Abram Gonzalez, and today, if it weren't obvious by the title, we are talking about vision boards. But more importantly than that, we're actually talking about the creative energy required to generate what it is that you desire and actually have it show up in your life. And vision boards are just one technique that I and many others have found to be extremely effective. So in today's video, we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about how to actually make one, what it takes to make a vision board. We're also going to look at what you can do to be more successful this time around. So I've invited a special guest interview, my friend George Ira Carroll. He's a certified master NLP practitioner. He's also a national speaker and workshop facilitator, specializing in everything from business, abundance, wealth, all the way into, well, I guess it's all personal development. So I think you'll enjoy my friend George and our interview today. It's going to give you everything that you need to know in how to create a vision board that's actually going to work for you. And at the end, we'll wrap up with some examples in order for you to get the juices flowing. How's that sound? So meet my friend George Ira Carroll. Say hello.
Hello.
All right. The reason I brought George in today, and I'm actually at his vision board workshop, is because, well, we're talking about vision boards, and I thought who better to do it than George. I wanted to know two specific things. One is, how do you go about putting together a vision board that works for you? What are one or two things that you think are essential in putting together a vision board?
You know, I'm really visual, and so it kind of makes sense, connecting with the vision board. But I'm really visual, so images that connect with me on an emotional level. Also words. So here's an example of my vision board. So as you can see, it's got, sports clients up here. This year I want to master time. So the watch is sort of a symbol, an image that allows me to remember I want to master time. I've got my financial goal here, which is 200 grand, and a magnet that's pulling the money in. I've even got a statement that I repeat to myself here every single day, and it just helps remind me at a deep level of what I want to create. I've got, exploration, staying curious, my financial goals, the place I want to move into, the body. And so it's a mixture, for me, it's a mixture of like images that inspire me. And down here are all the leaders that, I admire. And so it's a mixture of words and phrases and also images that bring out like a powerful emotion within me.
Nice. Where do you put your vision board?
It's right next to my bed. So the minute I get up and I roll out of bed,
it's right there.
Yeah, it's like one of the first things that I do before I even start my day.
Cool, yeah. Awesome. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is, what do you think is the number one reason that vision boards may not work for some people? Is that hard to boil down to one thing?
It is. But there's a couple of things that come to mind. The first thing is that people will create a vision board and then they won't do anything with it.
Sure.
They'll put it in their closet or they'll put it on their shelf, and they won't utilize it in a way to create some focus and momentum. That's one way that it doesn't really work.
Sure.
The other way is, what comes to mind at least, is when people create these goals and these visions for themselves and they doubt themselves. They say to themselves, I can't really do this. It's kind of a fun experience, but I can't really achieve these goals. And then they put it away and nothing ever happens.
Right.
So I think those are the two biggest things that at least I notice.
I think it's hard sometimes, especially when you put a big goal out there, something that you want to achieve over a lifetime, to not compare yourself to where you are now versus where you'd like to be. Do you have any strategies to maybe get around that a little bit?
Yeah. There's a couple of ways that people create vision boards. Number one is like the big visions, like the billions of dollars, the huge mansions, the owning the island. And then there's more of a way to focus it. And for me, it's just been more effective to focus it on a specific year. So that way, instead of it being way out there,
right,
it's like right here in front of us. And it just seems more doable, more achievable, and for me at least, it just inspires me more to take the action to get there because it's closer. I can feel it, I can sense it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What would you share based on your experiences? I mean, other than what I've said, maybe a different view for the audience.
Well, I think it's that choosing it based on the energy. It's really easy to put up all the flashy things that you want to physically show up in your life, and there is by no means anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I know what has worked for me is choosing the energy behind it. So, so if you're putting something on there for a relationship, it may not be the girl that's, brunette and 5'8" and, this and this. It's choosing the energy of that person being a symbol and somebody being nurturing for you and a constant expansion for you. You do the same thing with your business or, your body and other things like that. So for me, it's been not getting too caught up in the actual detail of what it is, and being more focused on the energy and representation, the symbolism
Right.
that it has for me.
So are you saying that there's no right way to do this?
Oh my God, you can't do it wrong.
Interesting.
That sounds like fun. So thank you all. Thank you, George. And where can they find you if they want to get a piece of you?
Find a piece of me at www.georgeiracarroll.com.
Boom. We'll put it here in the bottom. You guys can check George out. I love this guy. He helped get me started in some places where I wasn't doing so hot. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Pleasure.
Ernest's gonna make you stand there and smile.
All right, that pretty much wraps it up for today's episode of Inspiraction. We're going to end with some examples, as promised in the beginning of this video, for you to kind of get your ideas around what it is that you could create. Now, I encourage you to, do it how it works for you. So for me, I actually put it on a cork board so I can change, the things that are actually on there throughout the course of the year. I mean, we're human beings. Our goals and what we desire are going to change all the time. We might go down a road here and find out that doesn't really work for us. And I feel like when I make my vision board, I want to be able to change it and do whatever it is that I desire to do with it. So we're going to end today with the Inspiraction Challenge, which, if you want, it's to go out and build a vision board, but this one's even better. The Inspiraction Challenge this week is to go out there and film yourself singing or dancing and post it as a response to this video. Now, the inspiration comes from my friend Jeremy Chin, author of the book Fuel. He had me waking up this morning with quite a bit of inspiration. He jumped out of his comfort zone and filmed himself singing, and I thought it was so beautiful. Like, that level of vulnerability, imagine what that could create for you if you're willing just to be seen the way that Jeremy is. So that's your Inspiraction Challenge. Go out and film yourself singing or dancing, post it as a video response to this video, and if you're not quite that daring, I'm looking forward to hearing your comments below this video. What is the coolest thing that you have seen show up from creating a vision board of your own? What's the neatest thing that you thought of that came to fruition later? Look forward to hearing from you, and if this video has been a contribution to you, there's a good chance that your friends will like it too. So pound on those share buttons, get the word out there. I appreciate you coming by and watching my video, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
It's like I'm puffing things I love her, the more I suffocate. Right before I'm about to drown, she resuscitates me, she fucking hates me, and I love her. Wait, where you going? I'm leaving you. No, you ain't. Come back, we're running right back. Here we go again. It's so insane, cause when it's going good, it's going great. I'm Superman with the wind at his back. She's Lois Lane, but when it's bad, it's awful. I feel so ashamed. I snap, who's that dude? I don't even know his name. I laid hands on her. I'll never stoop so low again. I guess I don't know my own strength.